Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Trailblazer Baseball and Softball this week. Rod Zundel here. We'll talk softball in just a minute. But first, let's talk Trailblazer Softball with head coach Chris Pfatenhauer. And coach, you got UNLV in non-conference battle at home this afternoon, and then you get back into the WAC schedule. Big series coming up this week with Seattle here at home. And Seattle now a game in front of you for that spot in the WAC tournament. So it's a huge week for you guys.
It's big. You know, we love playing UNLV. Obviously, not an in-state rival, but closest Division I school to us. I go way back with their head coach. We worked together 15, 16 years ago at the University of Nevada, and loved Stan. And we have a lot of ties with playing them. We've had great games. We've been walked off by them a couple times. We played a couple other one-run games. So excited to challenge ourselves today at home, you know, in front of a good crowd, which the crowds have been fantastic this year at the Hearst. And then, a tremendous weekend coming up for us with Seattle coming in, and we control a lot of our own destiny right now.
Yeah, speaking about that, you control. It's in your hands. You've got the team that's just in front of you in your stadium. Yeah. Everything's right there for you to get that spot in the final spot in the WAC tournament.
Yeah, and I like, you know, we've had an up and down year, but I do like our chances when our backs are against the wall, and we do need to win a series from them. And obviously, that's not the end of the year. We've got 3 weeks left, but that would go a long way to put us in a good spot to get into our first conference tournament.
Well, you got Seattle, it's a game in front of you this weekend. Then next week at home, Arlington, and right now they're only 2 games in front of you. So again, you look at it, and this is the message you've got to be sending to your team, saying, guys, okay, even though we haven't crushed everything like we wanted to, it's still right there. Our goal is still right in our own hands.
Yeah, and you know, your goals have to be flexible, right? Yeah. I think all of us go into, no matter what sport we're in, we go in wanting to win a championship, you know, maybe a conference championship or whatever that might be. And for us, I mean, we certainly wanted to do that when the season started, and you know, we didn't play well enough early in conference, and so now it's okay. Let's be flexible. Let's be malleable. Now let's get in the conference tournament, and then we never know what can happen. So everything's right in front of us, and we just got to play good baseball.
At this time of the year, injuries are always a problem. A couple of guys go down, so next man up, because you're going to be too short.
Yeah, we got some guys down, and it's going to hurt, but you know, there's no excuses. I mean, everybody has injuries, right? You got to recruit some depth, and you got to coach guys and develop them. So, you know, there'll be some new faces in there during the week, and but we're excited for those guys to get opportunities.
But that's a good opportunity to have UNLV to give those guys that maybe haven't had a lot of time where they need to step up, get their feet wet a little bit before you get into conference schedule again.
Yeah, certainly. You know, some arms are going to get opportunities today that maybe haven't thrown in a couple weeks for a couple reasons. You know, one, we want to see them. You know, we're getting late here, and we need to make some decisions on some guys, and as well, they've earned it. They're at practice every day. They grind. They get after in the weight room, and so we're excited to see some guys get opportunities these next couple weeks, and we just hope we can keep playing the game at the end of the month.
What is it that you want to see this week out of your guys that maybe hasn't been quite there the last couple weeks?
Yeah, well, in conference play, if you look at where we're at in conference play, we're not getting enough runners on base. Yeah. We've only walked 29 times in 15 games. That's less than 2 walks per game. On the year, we're averaging about 4 walks a game. So we've got to have a little bit better plate discipline, and then we've got to hit situationally. We're leading the conference and hitting into double plays right now, and so we need to get in some moments. We're getting runners in scoring position at times, and then we're just not cashing them in. So we've got to play better offensively, defensively. I've liked our team most of the year. Last weekend we did not play good defense. It doesn't show in the box score. We only made 2 errors, but we just didn't get good jumps on balls. We didn't make good decisions on some throws, and we just got to play winning baseball. That's kind of been our theme for the last couple of months, and that's what's going to be important.
Talked about errors, you talked about plate discipline. Could that be just a case where maybe they're pressing a little bit, 100%. Trying to get too much too quickly?
100%. That's been our biggest issue, you know, Rod. It's in these first few years of Division I, we've kind of had our backs up against the wall from the first game of the season. Yeah. And there's so many guys in our program that care about the program, care about their teammates, want to win, and it mounts, you know. And when you look at the fact, another quirky stat, I mean, in 15 conference games, we don't have a sac fly. We literally have not hit a sac fly.
Really?
That's a runner on third, less than 2 outs. Yeah. Like, let's score them. And
you've had a lot of one-run games. So
yeah, we have. I think 11 of them this year, and so yeah, we're just, you know, guys want to do it. They want to get after it. They're just not staying within their approach and getting it done. So we hope to get them back to that this week, and I mean, you've seen it. Everybody that's come to our games sees we got a good club. We can win a lot of games, but we got to control the moment and get the hit when we need it.
Well, no better time to get it all together than right now, chasing a WAC tournament spot. All right, we had our Brooksies Awards for our athletes for the year. Had a couple of guys get it. Kyle McDaniel was the Male Athlete of the Year. Levi Randall, Male Academic Athlete of the Year. And then as a team, you had the Community Service Award. And I know that's big with you because you guys do a lot of great things, especially around Christmas time, helping out those that are in need.
We do, and I appreciate you mentioning that. That's paramount award for our program. I mean, we do want to give back to the community. We want to help families. One, we want to help those folks, but also we as a program want to train our guys or teach our guys what that's about and what there's so many people in the community that look up to our guys, and I think there's a lot of places where maybe people think student athletes are, in their own little bubble and they've kind of got it made, and there's nothing farther from the truth at mid-major Division I baseball. We got a lot of walk-ons. We don't have any full-ride scholarship guys. We got guys that grind, and we got guys that work. We got guys that are married. We got guys that have kids, and for them to give up some of their time to go to other sporting events, to go read at elementary schools, to help at the Mayor's Walk and the Ironman, and then to do what we do at Christmas time, and for that to affect our guys the way it does is awesome.
Well, it all starts from the top with you and your coaching staff.
I appreciate that.
To be applauded. All right, and you can watch the Brooksy Awards. You can go back and watch it on replay here on Trailblazer Sports Vision. All right, big week. Looking for some great things starting this afternoon, this evening with UNLV, and then against Seattle. It's right there, Coach. Just got to grab it, put it in your pocket, and run.
Yeah, we're excited, and we look forward to seeing everybody out at the park.
All right, Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
We'll talk Trailblazer softball when we come back.
If you haven't seen Utah Tech University lately, chances are you haven't seen it at all. With hands-on polytechnic learning across 300 academic programs, 30 new and renovated state-of-the-art facilities, the most affordable university tuition in the state, and 300 days of sunshine, why look anywhere else? Discover why Utah Tech was recently named one of Education Magazine's 10 prominent universities and colleges to watch. Join us and experience the active learning, active life difference at Utah Tech.
Time now to talk Trailblazer softball with Utah Tech softball coach Randy Simpkins and your three seniors here. It's coming to an end this weekend. Marissa Rubio in the middle, Carly Eldridge and Ellie Evans. So your WAC season is over. You play your final two games this Saturday at Weber State in non-conference. So for these seniors, it's the final time you'll have a chance to coach them, Coach.
I've been blessed. We were talking just a minute ago. It's the highest GPA of any graduating class we've ever had here. They'll all graduate with over a 3.95 GPA. Wow. Yeah. So big-time examples in the classroom and great students.
Chalk one up for the classroom, but on the diamond as well, ladies, you brought Utah Tech its first and only WAC championship. Regular season title 2 years ago. So we'll start with you, Marissa. Just talk about the legacy that you leave and that moment 2 years ago to set the stage for great things in the future.
Yeah, that moment was definitely, I think, a big moment for the program in itself. We worked really hard for that, and there was a lot that went into that whole season, and I'm glad it had the turnout that it did. And looking back now, we wanted to use that for recruiting purposes, things to strive for when we're at practice, and kind of trying to replicate that work ethic that we had 2 years ago into, these oncoming years to see if we can still replicate that success. It was a great time, though. It was a really fun year.
Yeah, Carly Eldridge, not a lot of student athletes have the chance to say we were champions of our conference, and you guys were able to do that. And that was still in the transition period, too. So just your thoughts on that.
It was definitely a big jump because we were part of the class that we commit right after, during that process of that switch from Division II to Division I. So at that point, we didn't even know if we were going to be able to go to a WAC tournament because of eligibility reasons. So it was kind of chaotic, but I think that everyone went into that season with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder because we were ranked in preseason pretty low. And we all took that to heart, and we decided that we weren't going to stand for that. And we had an amazing senior class to guide us that year. And they kind of instilled in all of us that that's how you lead. You don't lead by trying to do something for someone else. you do it by caring about everyone else and just working your butt off to do whatever you can.
And Ellie Evans, we were still in the transition period from D2 to D1. You weren't allowed to go to NCAA tournaments, but they did allow you to go to the WAC. What does that say about that group that you were part of and the legacy that you're leaving, that, hey, even though we weren't allowed to go to the NCAA tournament, we still played our tails off, like she said?
Yeah, it was super special. And honestly, becoming a senior this year, that senior class, I mean, we had player of the year, pitcher of the year, defensive player of the year, freshman of the year, coach of the year, everything that year. And so I think being a part of that team, I realized what it looks like to be a leader, and like Carly said, lead with love. And so I think that's what this class really took to heart this year, that we wanted to lead with love like those girls did for us that year.
And Coach, the legacy that they helped build here from Division II to Division I, just talk about what these three seniors mean to you and what you're trying to build here in Division I softball.
Yeah, they touched on it earlier. These guys and then the class below them, they all committed during our D2 days, and some of them were committed without ever knowing that we were going D1. And I think we had 7 or 8 between last class and this class that were committed during that time. And when we announced we were going to Division I, every one of them didn't even bat an eye. Said, Coach, we're still coming. You know, through COVID, they're like, yeah, we're still coming. You know, so but they and we told them that year when we won the conference, it's like, you guys flipped the script. Everybody has a goal to do it. You guys actually did it. You know, and then when they talk about leading with love, this class, this group. Right now, they get along maybe as good as any team we've ever had. They play hard for each other. They enjoy hanging out together. They choose to live together. They choose to go spend time together. So that's a special thing.
Now, Marissa, outfielder, and Carly and Ellie, they're infielders. Have you build up the place to take their spots, because they're tough shoes to fill.
We always say that every time I come back from a recruiting trip, I always call them bad names, because trying to find somebody that's going to replace them with all the things that they do for our program is almost impossible. We've got some kids coming in that we really like, but having these guys and the legacy that they've actually accomplished thing on the field and in the classroom, it's going to be really tough to replace. For
sure. So with your college softball career coming in, let's talk about what's next for you, Marissa.
Oh, it's the golden question, is it? You know, I'm going to try to stay in St. George for at least another year, trying to figure out if I can do something within digital media, because that's my minor and that's what I want to do in terms of video editing. But with it being still a developing town, there's not really that much opportunity. So still looking for job opportunities back home. But things in like the entertainment field and that area is kind of the direction I want to go in.
Well, Trailblazer Vision, Sports Vision can always use some video editors.
You got some job openings open up?
It doesn't pay well. It's an internship. You need any more credits? You go for a master's? All right, Carly, what's next for you?
I'm going to be planning to apply to PA school pretty soon here. So, and University of Utah actually just got a branch down here. So I'm hoping to apply here, and then I'm going to apply to San Diego too, so I can go back with my best friend.
That would be Ellie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
okay,
right.
so just on top of that, you are going to UC San Diego, right?
USD.
University of San Diego.
Yep, I'll be heading there. I'm going to move from here down there and spend the summer in San Diego, and then I'll start classes in August.
For?
Law school.
Law school. Okay, so PA is going to be your lawyer, and then you can video edit for those two.
That's the dream. That's
and then you can do the marketing. So, all right, so just in a couple words, what has it meant to you to be here all 4 years, everybody, right?
Yep.
to
spend your entire career here and try to build something?
It's been everything to me, honestly. I've had the times of my life. You know, Coach says, you know, he has us for 4 years, but we're building relationships that will last us a lifetime. And I really feel like I got that within these 4 years, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty similar. I think it was a lot of growth for all of us. I mean, and a lot of change, because we actually came in with 7 of us in one class, and we're down to us 3. And honestly, I think it might be a blessing in disguise, because us 3 have been really close since the beginning. And like she said, we're making friendships that are going to last a lifetime. That's within this class, and that's everyone on our team right now, too.
Ellie?
I think spending 4 years in one place, you just get to build off every year. So that's just been really special to see the team grow, and every team's had a little bit of a different dynamic, and I've just been so grateful for every year here.
Now, you mentioned the friendship. You say she's your best friend. Did you know her before here?
No.
See, that's one thing. If nothing else,
Yep.
you've got a best friend for life, right?
Yep.
So, are there tears shed?
Oh yeah, all the time. My wife says I only get emotional during like senior banquets. We had our senior banquet last week, and yeah, for sure. You know, these kids have put their heart, soul, literally blood, sweat, and tears on our field. You know, every week. So seeing them go is obviously going to be really, really tough. But knowing that we had a little bit of part to play in them growing up and being amazing young ladies and a great example for the rest of the kids.
Well, Marissa Rubio, Carly Eldridge, and Ellie Evans, even though this year didn't go as planned, you guys leave as champions. You can always say that. Nobody
Got that
could ever
ring.
take it away from you.
Got that ring.
Best of luck. Get a couple wins over the Wildcats this week, and then best of luck. Great things ahead in your future. Thanks for all you've done here.
Thank you.
All right.
Rod.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
That's it. See you next time.